Hey, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of Shagnik Speaks. Here we discuss things we all felt, but somehow couldn't express. Myself, Shagnik. As I promised you earlier that I would come again with a sequel to COVID, and as I couldn't cover much the previous time, here I am, and you're listening to How COVID-19 Affected Us Mentally, Part 2. If you haven't heard the first episode, please go listen to it. And then if you feel like coming back to this episode, you're most welcome. So, a year which almost made us rethink our life. Our career, our relationships with others and self. I agree, it's been tough to go through the phase, and many of my juniors, my batchmates and I felt that. The year has definitely been tough for the students too. It's sort of the same for college and school students. Okay, let's be honest over here. How many of us were actually serious during the phase? No, I'm not asking you to answer me, but to yourself in your mind. Well, I believe most of our answers were no. And I don't blame us honestly. Of course, we should take accountability of our do's and don'ts, but it wasn't our fault actually. In all these distractions, we somehow lost our ability to focus, and that led to different troubles at home. As we weren't able to focus on our career, our family got more tensed. They kept forcing us to be serious about it, and we continued with our things. And we are all at a certain age to understand their worries. We all know how much they care about us, how much they fear that something might go wrong again. See, no wonder our parents care for us and wants the best for us. But we got to keep in mind, in some families, the process of choosing careers went to a huge extent. And some of us had to choose a stream or a genre out of peer pressure. Naturally, the earning members of the family were going through a ton of things, and they just wanted us to have at least a stable life. Because come on, we all know how the situation was, and whatsoever, you just cannot see your family suffer, right? And from there, it slightly moved on to your disappointment. To see your close ones in stress, to have a constant fear of failure, and a lot more. To see the massacre with our own eyes in the news made us feel terrible. And even if we didn't want to, eventually we had to choose something we didn't want. And as I said earlier, that the stress is still embedded within us somewhere deep down. What if we have to face it all again? Nobody's ready for it. And as we all have been through that terrible 2 years, which sort of changed everything. Loss of closed ones, which we couldn't even imagine of. Some friendships got cut off due to several reasons. Same with relationships. No doubt we have been through a lot. But on the other hand, it taught us many things. Like to not take anything is granted. It taught us to value things, to love more. Just like COVID led to the increase of depression, it also taught us to prioritize self-love. Isn't it? I believe everything happens for a reason. And life itself and experiences are the best teachers of our life. And being optimistic is the only option that's left for us. Do you agree? COVID not only took our time, our loved ones, but also a part of us. And who imagined that this COVID would make us so mature before time? If COVID had not hit us, we all might take a little longer to be where we are today. And we all think and talk about those who at least had a chance to be with their family. Yeah, many of us were with our family, right? We got to spend a good time, we got support, we showed support and more. And my friend, what about the guy or the girl staying abroad all alone? Going through the same things, might be more. What about them? You know, some families even call their child back home. And I heard something lately and it's stuck in my mind since then. It goes like, Beta, come home soon. Trust me, we'll do good. Even without the lump sum money that you receive from the company. Because to be happy, I don't need 20 lakhs anymore. But you to be beside me for my last 20 days. Undoubtedly a lot changed in these years. And even now when I work or I'm all by myself, I could feel a certain wind blowing. and it's so known to me, as if I have something with it. Well, we all know. I have a few lines which you might be in need of. Here it goes. Sometimes, what didn't work out for you, it really worked out for you. Remember, you're not behind, but exactly where you should be. Have confidence that today will be another successful day. Might help you. I still remember that old Shagnik being excited about 2 weeks holiday, without even imagining that those 2 weeks would soon turn into 2 years, resulting into this. And if you made it till here, just reply me with this one line, anywhere, in any platform. Please do it, if possible. Consider that this will make me happy. I choose to be positive. Sometimes it might get hard, but I will still choose to be positive. This podcast was a continuation of the previous episode, Covid-19, and I tried my best to cover the points which I might have missed in the previous one. If you have something that you would want me to cover on my next podcast, make sure to DM me on Instagram @IamShagnik, I_am_Shagnik, or on Facebook it's @ShagnikSarkar. So yeah, that was all about today's topic, and I promise to meet you again here with something common that we all felt. Not all things needs to be different, right? Myself Shagnik, signing off.